Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing great. We're here with the round 9 tips and we are in for a very big, round 10 tips. Sorry, I've already got that wrong in this video. And probably with my tips as well. But yeah, round 10, probably going to be one of the hardest rounds. So let's first of all jump straight into my round 9 tips. And again, if you guys want to join the comp, make sure you do so by clicking down below. And yeah, also smash a like, subscribe, all that stuff. And last match day vlog is also out. So yeah, let's check out and look at my round 9 tips. Alrighty guys, here with the first game. Obviously now Richmond actually got the job done here. A very good performance by the Tigers, and one that I don't think many people expected. While I thought this game would be close, I honestly didn't think Richmond would get it done. And even at times when Richmond were winning and getting it done, I thought, you know, Geelong would surely come back at some point. Though it didn't happen. And well, Dusty had one of the best games probably out of the last few years of his playing. Definitely his best game for this year. And Trent Caution as well come up for 3 goals. So yeah, well done to the Tigers. Very, very good there. Will they be able to sustain it? I guess that's the real question going into next week here. Gold Coast got it done over the West Coast Eagles, which is nice to see. I thought that was one of the games that maybe Gold Coast would slip up on, but they definitely, you know, proved that they're actually not terribly bad anymore. And actually, they might be half decent this year. Who knows? On the Saturday night here, we obviously seen Sydney get, well, their streak finally broken of beating Freo, I think since, 2012 at the SCG. So Freo, they've broken that curse. And a very good performance as well. I was not very confident when I tipped the Swans here, and well, I guess I just thought the SCG factor would be too big and too strong for the Dockers, but they got it done. So that throws another spanner in the works, I guess, when it comes to tipping the Dockers, because are they sort of back to where they were last year in a sense? I don't think so at the moment, but they're definitely on an upward trajectory. So if that keeps going, well, honestly, yeah, who knows what will happen on the Dockers this year. So that was my 2 incorrect tips for the start of the sort of first few rounds. Next up, we went on a bit of a good streak here. So Port over North, easy. Melbourne over Hawthorn, easy. Brisbane over Essendon. This was another one that I thought was going to be close, and it was for 3 quarters. But Brisbane just sort of showed their class in the end there in that 4th quarter and just really, I guess, jumped away from Essendon, who kept them within arm's reach for, yeah, 3 quarters, as I said. So it actually wasn't a bad game until Brisbane just sort of, you know, got on their way and did what they needed to do. So yeah, next up, the Western Bulldogs taking on Carlton. This was one of the tips that I think would have, you know, thrown around, got most people sort of mixed up here with the incorrect tip. It was a coin toss, really. It was a 50-50 game. So yeah, I just felt that, yeah, Bulldogs, they had been better in the last month, and it proved that they were just a better team at the moment. And Carlton is still, well, they're going not great. They're on some really rocky form at the moment, and they should be getting a lot more than they are out of this list, with, you know, obviously 2 Coleman medal winners, you know, a Brownlow winner. They've got some of the best defenders in Jacob Wiedering and some other guys back there. So yeah, really disappointing for Carlton, but can't say I'm disappointed about that, because I feel really good for getting a 50-50 tip right. The next one though, not so great, and this one probably wasn't a 50-50 if we actually go by the odds here, but I thought St Kilda might have just been too good because of their defense. And I think they've put more 4th quarter performances together, like from start to finish. I think they'd played a bit better this year previously, but Adelaide just proved that they are seriously a force to be reckoned with this year. Whilst they're only 8th on the ladder, they played so much better in this game, and they looked like a top 4 contender again, like they were sort of looking like in the earlier part of the season. And well, they got it done comfortably from the get-go. There wasn't a moment in this game where Adelaide were really in doubt of winning, so well done there. And the last game of the round was the Pies over the Giants, and yeah, another one where I think 99% of you guys would have tipped the Pies. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at my round 10 tips. Alrighty, so here we are with round 10, and this is easily got to be the most difficult round for this year so far, and it may end up staying that way, to be honest. There's at least 3 or 4 games in here that are like genuine 50-50s or like a 60-40, that sort of thing. So starting off with the Friday night game, I mean, where do you start here? Port Adelaide, they've won 6 in a row. Melbourne, they've won 4 in a row. At Adelaide Oval, I mean, this is just so hard to go by. This is the first genuine 50-50 for me. I think Port Adelaide are going to come in slight favourites here, you would assume. Or even maybe Melbourne are. I honestly don't know. That's just off the top of my head, just assuming based on where this game is played, you'd think Port Adelaide would be slight favourites here. But Melbourne have won the last 3, and they did beat them last year at Adelaide Oval. But previously to that, in 2020 and 2019, when Port were, again, very, very good in those years, Melbourne had lost them both times at the MCG. Though I think that's sort of too long to, look back on. Personally, for me, I just love Melbourne's list. I love what they're doing. I love the way they play. Though Port Adelaide, they've been very, very good as well this last, month and a half, and you just cannot dispute that. So this for me is a genuine 50-50, and I don't say this with any confidence, but I'm going to go Melbourne here, and I'll say seriously a close one here by, we'll go 16 points, but I could see this going anyway. I can't really say I've watched too much of Port Adelaide, so maybe if I'd been paying more attention to them, I might feel a bit more confident tipping them, but I just know when Melbourne are up and about, when Melbourne are up and about, they're just a great team to watch, and yeah, I'll go Melbourne. All right, next up, and this is probably one of the only easiest games to tip for the round. While Sydney are being terrible, you just think North are just still leagues and bounds below where Sydney are. So if they lose this game, and seriously, they're not sitting in a good position at the moment. They're 14th on the ladder. They need to win this game, and they need to win it convincingly, and I think they will. 50 points, surely, for the Swans. They're going to build some faith and, actually repay their followers and their supporters here at the moment, because they have just been so underwhelming. So yeah, surely Sydney get it done. All right, this one, another genuine 50-50 in my mind here. I mean, this is ridiculously hard to tip. This might be the hardest for me here, and I just, like, I'm going to be honest, I have thought about these tips beforehand, especially for this round. Usually I go off the top of my head, but this is just such a difficult round. Because it's played at Mars Stadium, I am going to go Bulldogs here. I think maybe the cold weather, realistically, they're all professional AFL players, so the weather shouldn't have a huge effect on them. And it's not like it's going to be humid conditions or anything like that. So I'm just going to go Western Bulldogs because I don't really know, to be honest. It's probably I'm surprised, to be honest, that the Dogs are such heavy favourites, especially coming off that was a statement win. Like, if there's ever been a statement win, this was a statement win for the Adelaide Crows last week against St Kilda. But I'm just going to go the Doggies. Don't really know why. They have had they've had a bit better form in the last 5 matches. They've won 3 out of the 5. I've got no real, reasoning behind this tip here. I'm just going to go the Bulldogs. I think they've been one of the best defensive teams even this year. They've kept teams to 51, 71. All right, as I was saying before my OBS crashed, the Western Bulldogs have been one of the best defensive teams this year. But with that being said, so was St Kilda until Adelaide arrived, and they scored 125 points against them. So 121. So yeah, that might mean nothing, but it's going to be a real test for the Western Bulldogs defense this game. And yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they are better and hold up. So yeah, Western Bulldogs, hopefully they get it done for me here. All right, this one is another, I hate these games. I mean, this is such a hard round to tip. This is one of these rounds where if you're doing bad in tipping, you have a genuine chance to go up heaps. And if you're doing good, well, you've got a great chance of falling down as well, because there's just so many 50-50s here. I know this one isn't really a 50-50 according to the odds, but at the moment, in the form of these two teams, I would say it is. But I'm going to back in Geelong, because I think they're too good to get it to lose another game twice in a row. I know they did lose 2 in a row earlier in the season, but I don't know. Haven't seen enough from Fremantle yet, and I think Geelong, while they did have a shaky start to the season, I still think they've been better than Freo. So I'm hoping here at GMHBA they get it done. I mean, out of the last 5 games, they have won most of them. Obviously, last year they were the only team to beat them down to GMHBA. So now they're playing at Optus. So they've got a huge advantage there with the crowd and whatnot. But I don't know. We'll go Geelong. And who knows what will happen. Maybe I'll change. I don't know. Alrighty, next up we got the Q Clash. Now, I feel like every single year we come into this game and think, maybe Gold Coast actually have a chance. And whilst they haven't been terrible this year, and at the moment they're actually in some decent form, they've had a really good last month, and they only lost to Melbourne by 5 points and arguably should have won. I just can't back them in. Every single year, the Brisbane Lions just absolutely destroy them. Look at that. I think they've only bet them once in their history. And while, 2019, to be fair, it was a close game. They didn't actually do too bad there. But look at this. The last 5 times, the Brisbane Lions have scored over 110 points and over 120 in 3 of those. So they just cannot hold up defensively when they play the Lions Gold Coast. So they got a real test here this year. But yeah, I'll be going the Lions here. You know, it'd be good to see an upset in Gold Coast getting a win, but I just can't see it happening. Alrighty, next up here, guys, we have, well, the Dreamtime match, I believe it is. Yeah, the Dreamtime fixture happens every year. I actually went to this game last year. Won't be going to it this year, but this is probably going to be one of my biggest upset tips. I am going to be going Essendon. I think they've had a very good last month. I know they've lost 4 games, but genuinely, I've liked the way they've played in most of those, and they've been good in all of these games, really. In Essendon, they were up for 3 quarters. Port Adelaide, they were in front for pretty much the whole game till the last 10 minutes. Against the Pies, we know how that went. They were ahead for 3 quarters, lost it in the last. And against Geelong, well, they only lost that first quarter, sorry, against Geelong, where Hawkins kicked like 7 goals. And I think they actually slowly, they won like 2 out of the last 3 quarters. So I don't think they've been bad. And whilst this is a very ballsy tip because, you know, form would say otherwise, I'm going to go Essendon here. I don't know why. I think they're going to break the curve. I don't think they bet Richmond in over 10 years. I know Richmond had a very good win over Geelong, but 1 win's not enough to convince me that your season is back on track. So, yeah, I'll be going Essendon here. And if they do win this Richmond again convincingly, then I think I'll be tipping Richmond a bit more for the rest of the year. All right, Sunday game. I don't think many people are going to be watching this one here, the first one, but you got to go Hawthorn. West Coast are just that bad. They're half a waffle team. There is a big difference between AFL players and waffle or VFL or sandful. So, yeah, got to go Hawthorn here. Definitely think they'll get it done, especially at Tasmania. Do you give West Coast a slight chance? I don't know. What do you guys think? But yeah, I'm going to be going Hawthorn here and should get it done by 20 or 30 points at least, I reckon. Alrighty, guys. Second last game of the week here. This is against Collingwood and Carlton. It is a Carlton home game. This is going to be the biggest crowd of the week, easily, of the round. And you guys know I'm going to be tipping Collingwood. There's just no reason not for me to tip Collingwood, being a Collingwood fan. But also, the form would suggest, and I think most people will tip Collingwood. I still have a feeling people are going to get tricked into Carlton here. While I mean, you got to give Carlton a chance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't win this game. They've got 2 of the best forwards in the game, or, you know, previously the best 2. Charlie Curnow specifically has been in cracking form. Harry Mackay, not so much. But they're a complete team. They've got a great list, and they are capable of winning this game. But we're not seeing a list that is capable of winning these hard and tough games. So, yeah, I'll be going Collingwood here. But wouldn't surprise me if the Blues do something miraculous here and just pull a win out of nowhere. Alrighty, guys, and for the last one of the rounds here, we've got the GWS Giants at their home game. I think the Giants Stadium is in Canberra. The last head-to-head, we've had St Kilda winning the last 3. I'm going to say St Kilda bounce back here. GWS, I don't think they've been terrible, but honestly, after seeing them last week against the Pies, doesn't really give me any faith and merit to tip them. So I'll be going St Kilda. We're going to submit tips there. Yeah, definitely. Who goes to Chalk Rainbow? That is just not right, man. So yeah, there's my tips, guys. This is either going to go terribly or just bad or good, sorry. If I was to get a perfect round this round, it would be huge in terms of making up spots in the tipping. So yeah, Melbourne, Sydney, Western Bulldogs, Geelong, Brizzy, the Dons, the Hawks, the Pies, and St Kilda. There we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tipping comps link down below, and check out my past 2 videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.